Hey there, tubers. Today's video is going to be the installation of this Thunderbird Industries tractor canopy on my Bobcat CT2025 tractor. Now this should be a pretty straightforward, easy installation. It's definitely a two-person job, just because you're going to have to hold those brackets up and put U-bolts in, and then getting the canopy up on top. Definitely not a one-man job. So with that, there is a left and a right. You'll want the mounting plate here to be on the outside of your tractor's roll bar, and it just bolts up to that. Got some U-bolts that'll go through, and then it's a pretty simple, straightforward process. And luckily today it's kind of windy, so I can't spray, and this just showed up this morning, so I'm gonna slap her on real quick and see how she looks. So I'll get some help here and show you this step by step. Alright, so I got those up there. And again, this plate needs to be on the outside, and then that way your tubing kind of fits in that notch where the roll bar curves. And one of the things is you need to make sure that the top of this tubing is at the top of your roll bar. So I've got a magnetic level here that's got some good magnets on it, and got it up here. And one thing that you'll notice is on this one you don't see anything up here, but on this one, this plate is a little higher than the tubing, so I'm going to loosen these up and see if I can get that below the tubing so that the tubing itself is level with the roll bar. If not, I guess it'll just have to live and stay that way, but I'll loosen those up, see if I can adjust that or not, and then go on to the next step. Alright, so no dice on that. I loosened them up, and that's pretty much where it's gonna be. Can't move it at all. There's no slop in those holes, so it's such a minor amount, I don't think a person will ever notice, but I was just trying to be as accurate as it could be. So basically, by this point, you just snug these U-bolts. You don't tighten them down yet, because I'll have to take this level and we'll put it on top here, make sure it's level front to back, and then we'll just slowly move it out from side to side to the front to make sure it's level from side to side out front here. And then once you know that for sure, then you can tighten those up and then move on to putting the canopy on. So I'll do some leveling here and get right back with you. Alright, so I've got it leveled up in both directions. What I did was, this driveway is got some slope to it, so I put the level down on the driveway from front to back, marked where the bubble was, and then I put the bubble, or the level, back up on top and matched the bubble to the marks I had, and that should get it pretty dang close. Driveway's fairly level from side to side, so again I marked the bubble and just checked a couple spots coming out here to the front, and it matches. And this, I don't think, has to be perfect. I would assume, because there is such a varying degree here, that if you liked your canopy tipped back a little more or tipped down a little more, you can absolutely do that. But I figured I'd get it pretty close to level with the frame of the tractor and call it good. So my next step will be getting the canopy up there and making sure everything lines up good, and go from there. I'll be back here shortly. Okay, so I got these 4 bolts here tightened up on both sides, and then I got the canopy up on there, and it looks good. But I have fiddled with this for probably an hour now, trying to get everything to measure out appropriately. Basically what they want is 2 to 3 inches between the back of this tube and the inside of the canopy there. And I'll get that, but then side to side doesn't match up. So as soon as I match the side to side up, then it changes the back. So this metal framework measures out the same on both sides, and they're equally spaced. So all I can think of is that the canopy itself, the casting is just a little off. So what I've ended up doing is I got the back as close as I could distance wise here, and then from side to side, and took a 3/8 drill bit and drilled up through the hole through the fiberglass, bolted it down, and then did the other side. And now that leaves me the front, and I'll do the same thing. I've got it as close as I can on each side. They're not exact, so I'll drill right through there, and I'll do it on the other side here. And they're a little bit different. I don't think a person would ever know the difference, but they are a little different, a little off. And then they give you this hardware. So you've got a rubber bottomed washer here that'll go on the bolt, and then this will go through on top, so that gives a little cushion on the fiberglass on top. Then you've got this bushing that'll go between the fiberglass and that bar. I'll show you kind of, hopefully you can see what I've done on that one. Gives you a little cushion, and then you'll put your washer and your lock nut on. So I'll get these 2 holes drilled, and I'll tighten all 4 corners down, and it'll be pretty close to being done. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I got those tightened down. 9/16 wrench will do for these 3/8 bolts, and they want you to tighten it to where you just get a little bit of bulge on these rubber bushings. So I just did all 4 corners, got them nice and snug, and then up on top here, that's what it ends up looking like. There's somewhat of a flat spot in here, but if you do that, slide this whole thing back, then your front doesn't make its flat spot. So I just basically went with their measurements, 2 to 3 inches on the inside of the back, which puts it slightly in this rise here, but I think the bushings will make up for that, and then you get the front ones on the flat spot. But other than that, looks pretty good. So there's what she looks like in all her glory. Doesn't look too bad. It'll give me some shade. These 100+ degree days are just brutal on you when you don't have some kind of cover. They do give you an additional set of stickers to put on the front and back of this. Right up there would be the red ones, and you put the orange ones up here. I'm opting not to do that for now. Just a cleaner look, I think, but that's going to be up to you whether you like them or not. I was going to go with the Bobcat Canopy because they do make one. However, they said the factory had been out of stock for months and they had no time frame for when they would come in. So I ended up going with Thunderbird Industries. They're out of Arizona. I can throw a link below. I have no affiliation to them. It's just every website I went to seemed to end up pointing me back to that website, so I just bought it through them. It's fairly easy. Everything has to get a shipping quote, so it was easiest for me just to call them and deal with it that way. You can email them through their website, but yeah, it was fairly spendy with the shipping, but I think it's well worth it just to get out of the sun. So with that, any questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.